Spiritual Psychics TV is hosting the first annual recognition of achievements, acknowledging those who dedicate their lives to a spiritual act of kindness. Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together.
You're live.
Hello everybody, how are you guys? Sorry if I look a bit red, I'm like a sweat lodge in here. Right then, so welcome to the Sunday Sofa with me, just me. Okay, well actually that's a bit of a lie. We have got a very special guest today, but I'll introduce him or her in a moment, okay? Keep you guessing. So if you haven't joined the Sunday Sofa before, we are an interactive chat show on a Sunday, every other Sunday at 4 o'clock. And we will talk about pretty much anything. Okay, so please get interactive with us. Please let us know your thoughts on any topics we're talking about this afternoon. Get involved. The more involved you are, the more likely you are to get a card or a reading today. So please do get involved. Predominantly it's a chat show, but we do pick people at random, okay, especially if you've joined in. So it'd be lovely to hear your thoughts and your opinions today. And first of all, I think I'm going to just introduce my very special guest. So, special guest, would you like to come in now, please?
No, go away. You're horrible to me.
So my special guest is Oracle of the Unicorns. No, my special guest today is the lovely Richard James, and unfortunately poor Jane has had to go and save her son because her son has broken down, and so me and Richard decided that today we were going to just do a nice little Sunday Sofa, see what happens, get chatting with you guys. And as you can see, Richard has got his Oracle of the Unicorn cards there in case he gets attracted to any of you guys to give you a reading or a card. So then, who have we got on, Mr. P?
We've got Kimbo saying, is it Father Christmas? No, but I do have the belly for it.
Ho, ho, ho. No, it isn't Father Christmas. He's too tight to give anyone any presents. Hi, Stace. How are you?
Yeah, too tight. I'll have you know I'm not very tight at all.
He's quite loose. Hi, Stace. How are you doing?
And Jane has asked us if we can send some healing thoughts to her daughter. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Sending prayers to Stacey's daughter. Absolutely. If everybody can do that as well, it'd be nice.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Healing on the way.
I must admit, though, before we started, Polly, I was having a giggle to myself because we had Kimbo on, who's on YouTube, because we are streaming to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. And he said, coffee in the hand and waiting. Afternoon, everyone. Well, it seems like I'm the only one here. And then he talks himself by saying, afternoon, Kimbo. I think he's lovely.
So let's everybody give Kimbo a great big hello. And so just so he doesn't think he's talking to himself, okay? You probably get more sense out of yourself to be fair, Kimbo. So you keep doing that. Keep doing that. Hello, Claire. How are you doing? Oh, Violet. Is it Violetta?
Violetta, yeah, Violetta.
Yeah. Hi, Violetta.
And we've got Emma, who's here as well.
Hi, Emma. How are you doing?
And we got a question ready from Nina, but I'll put that on for later. We got Krish that's here as well, who's saying hello.
Hello,
sending
Krish.
prayers. And we've got Linda, who's here.
Hi, Linda.
Charmaine saying, Richard, are you shy? No,
I think actually the answer to that question, Charmaine, is actually the oracle cards are better looking.
Oh, but I must admit that unicorn is, yes. I can see it's going to be one of them days today. It's like Abuse Richard Day from Polly, isn't it?
The reason why he's not coming on is because he's actually dressed in his unicorn onesie right now. He just doesn't want anyone to see him.
We got hi to Joanne.
Hi, Joanne. How are you?
Oh dear, we got our lovely Kelly who's here as well, who's watching
Hi,
this show.
Kelly. Big love to Kelly.
And we got some dodgy woman called Jane, just arrived at New
Morton.
Forest.
Oh,
not sure for the moment, but I am in a car park where the pub is called Green Dragon.
Oh.
No comment from me there. So
go in. I think you need a nice. Well, don't have a stiff drink if you're driving. Just have something like Coke. But you know, if you're at a pub and it sells food, go in there, get some.
Have a hot chocolate.
And a hot chocolate. Oh,
yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah.
So hi, lovely Jane.
And we've got Andrea. She's from Wales, South Wales.
Wow. Hello, Andrea. How are you?
Sorry if everybody can hear my phone in the background. I should put it away. We got Josephine.
Put it away, Richard. Hello, Josephine. How are you? Oh, my son-in-law has COVID, so they're isolating. Oh dear. I hope they're all right.
We got Millie B who's in the house as well. She's saying good afternoon to all in chat.
Millie B's in the house. Hi, Millie.
And we've got Michelle. She's saying could I have some healing, please. I have COVID, I'm afraid.
Oh dear, so many of you. Of course you can have some healing. So everyone throw Michelle and family some healing, please, as well.
Absolutely. We've got Kathy. She thinks she needs some guidance.
Kathy, hi, how are you?
But she's not sure, so she thinks she needs it. She's not sure. Turn left. Just go left. Always left.
Keep going.
Yeah. We've got Sarah, who's in.
Hello,
another
Sarah.
one from South Wales.
Wow. What's the weather like in South Wales? It's cold here.
I'm not there.
Oh, I wasn't asking you. I was asking Sarah Wheeler.
So we've got Diane. She's from Liverpool.
Wow. Hi, Diane.
And Natalie's sending some healing to everyone.
Oh, Natalie, that's lovely. Thank you.
Who else have we got on here? Just trying to, have we got Emma Abdens? I think we said hello to Emma. Not sure.
I think we did, but we'll say hello again to Emma.
Yeah. And we've got Jane as well.
Hi, Lynn.
Lynn, that's who I meant. We've got Joy.
Hi, Joy.
And we've got Jeanette going, hello.
Jeanette, hello. That always reminds me of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah. Don't start. It's Heidi's not on, is she? Said I'll never hear the end of it. And we got our friend Stephen also who's on.
Hello, Stephen.
Natalie Walker's here as well.
Hi, Natalie.
She's joined by Maz, who's come along.
Hi, Maz.
Tony Wright is doing a drum roll.
Drum roll. Oh.
If she wants a roll, there's plenty of floor space. Boom, boom. And we've got.
Well, you
Joan,
don't know. She might live in a very compact area.
She might be, yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Joan.
Joan here as well. Who else have we got come on? We got Izzy. She's here.
Izzy. Hi, Izzy. Love hearts. Look at those. We love a little bit of love. A little bit of love.
Surely live. Andrea's saying South Wales is lovely. It's cold but fine.
It's probably like here then, because it's quite nice. It's all right, isn't it, today? It's just cold.
Yeah.
It's cold.
We have our lovely Christine Davies is here as well.
Hi, Christine. How are you?
And we got Cheryl's asking for a message.
Hello, Cheryl.
Message in the bottle.
So just remind everybody to get, if you are lucky enough to get a reading, you will probably have been chosen because you have contributed to our chat today. So we like chatters, don't we, Richard? We're probably the most, apart from Jane, obviously we're missing because we love her chats. We are probably very, very chatty people, and we love chatting. So please do interact with us. And like I said, if you chat with us and we like what you're saying, whoops, sorry, everything went downhill there for a moment. Then obviously get interactive, get chatting with us, and it'll be lovely to hear your thoughts and conversations.
We've got Tina, who's here as well, saying good afternoon from Oxfordshire.
Hello, Tina.
We also have Anne.
Hi, Anne from Grimsby.
Did a good job for me last night. Kept reminding me who I was giving readings to because I totally forgot.
Well done, Anne. He can't help it. He's got dementia.
What's your name?
I know.
I don't even know who you are. Some strange woman who comes on the show all the time.
Yeah, just me. Just little me.
Yeah, I've just seen Wendy Gawley come on, but her comments just disappeared on me. How weird. Oh, there she is.
Hi, Wendy.
She's cold up in Durham.
Oh, put another cardi on. That's what my mum used to say, but like rather than put the heating on, put another cardi on. All right.
Alison Barton, deepest Surrey.
Hello, Alison Barton.
Just to let everybody know, while we've got Alison on the screen, Alison would usually have a brunch show tomorrow, but she's gallivanting this weekend.
How selfish.
I know, totally. And so she's not doing the brunch tomorrow, so you got me tomorrow doing the brunch.
He's taking over his own channel.
I'm not going to even answer that. And we have the wonderful Bree. And why are we talking about Bree? Let's just bring her up quickly, get that out of the way. We've got Bree here, who's from Australia. She's joining the channel. She's been on once before with the lovely Leslie. But Bree's now coming out a bit more and she wants to do more things. So she's asked if we can come on, and she's going to do a show about influencing your future steps. It's all about tarot readings, mediumship, healing, how you can be positive in your attitude. She talks about regression because she's a regressionist as well. And she's going to sort of guide you through all different types of different definitions every fortnight that she's on. And that starts this Thursday, coming up on the 27th at 11 a.m. But she's here tomorrow to talk about the show.
Excellent. Everybody make sure you join in there. It'd be really good fun.
Yeah.
So, should we get chatting then? What are we going to chat about, Mr.
I don't know. Apparently Anne's saying I still owe her a reading. Hold on, let me get a book. Jack and Jill went up the hill.
If you promised one, you'll get one later, Anne. Don't you worry. Okay, so then, what are we going to talk about? So I was thinking earlier, okay, after anyone that is on my Facebook will know that I will occasionally put a rant, but it's not exactly a rant. It's a more a constructive piece of information. Okay, and yesterday's constructive information was the fact that us readers and healers, we've gone through quite a, let's say, hard time over this last couple of years. Okay, and I'd had a bit of accumulation of, and I can understand why. It's still a bit of a strange world, even though it's getting slightly more normal, let's say. Yeah, a lot of people have been sort of like asking me or just texting me and not necessarily booking a reading, but they have been sort of asking if I could, pull them a card. And I had this situation about a few weeks ago where somebody was in distress because they'd lost somebody, and an elderly person, and they were expected to go, which is still very, very sad. And so I gave them a little bit of a reading for nothing. Okay. And occasionally I do that with friends. I will often do things like trades. Me and Jane have done trades. And so I always think there should be a balance. But this person slightly took advantage, told their family basically. And then I got an abundance of people then jumping on and asking me for free readings. So how does everyone feel about that? Does everyone feel like readers and healers should sort of be there for everybody all of the time? Or do you feel like that there should be, like with any job or career, that there should be limits on what you do, because I was saying to everybody, it's like we don't just work like do our reading and then sort of just rock up, do a reading and then go in the house and eat our dinner. And it's not an easy life. When we do readings or healings, you're preparing your space, you're preparing your room, you're often working all hours to try and sort of accommodate everybody. You're always seem to be on call, you're doing your own admin. So how does everybody feel about that? Do you feel like that they should be sort of up, because some people think this is a gift. I know Jane doesn't like the gift word.
But then again, if you look at it, Polly, that you wouldn't expect a plumber to turn up and do things for free, or electrician, or what I do with my business, I wouldn't expect that to be free. I want to be paid for the work that I do. I studied in college, university, and to get myself through education to get where I am today, and I want to recoup that money. And I know you work very hard, and for me, that you do this self-employed, so therefore you need to pay your bills. Spirit don't pay your bills, so why shouldn't you get paid for the ability that you have? Because you're far more tuned in than I've seen people on Facebook and other channels that charge $5 for reading, and they pull a card and it's absolutely rubbish, and it's just talking about money all the time. And it's not about helping people, where people like yourself and others on SBTV and other people not on SBTV, they work very hard, and you gotta live. So why shouldn't you be paid? Yes, you come on SBTV and on your own lives, giving some time to people for free. SBTV is 100% free. So when people come on and turn around and say, oh, we're conners or we're scammers or whatever, how is that possible? And it's the same as with you. You have to earn a living. So in my view, I think you should be paid for the work that you do.
Absolutely, because that's we literally are our own admins. We're our own accountants often. Some people are lucky enough to have accountants. I don't. I do my own. But yeah, I mean, we're literally, especially like after this last 2 years, where so many people have needed help and so many people have needed assistance or healing or some sort of guidance. And there's channels like yours, Richard, which are absolutely brilliant. As in, to be a VIP, yes, they have to give a donation. It's a very small donation, really, for what the VIPs will get, but you don't have to become a VIP. No one's forcing you to be a VIP. So in fact, I think that, not just because I'm biased, because you're my friend and everything else, but you give such a good service. And when you are you have these all these talented mediums and readers and everybody on your channel, they're not asking for anything. They come because they want to. They want on the channel because they want to be on the channel. They respect you. So yeah, it's an interesting topic, isn't it? Because I have seen on Facebook before and other places that, oh no, you should share your gift, it's free. So in my head, I'll give you my gift for free, but I will charge for my time, let's say.
Okay, then, so you say your gift for free, but can I look at it another way? Most people who have a profession, for example, they say they're 15 years of age, and they say, what do you do with your career? What do you want to do? Oh, I want to be a plumber. I want to be an electrician, or I want to be a mechanic or doctor. And there's training involved. Okay, but that's their ambition. That's what they want to be. That's what they feel their desire to be. It could be an artist. It could be a plasterer, whatever. But they feel this in them. This is what they want to do, to give back to society. Because that's what they're doing at the end of the day. They're giving it back. Yeah. So why can't it be the same? And you get a lot of people turn around and say that that spiritualism or psychics or mediums, not spiritualism, but psychics and mediums are con artists and stuff like that. And you think, really? How many mechanics do you know which are legitimate? How many plumbers? How many electricians?
There's plenty that aren't, isn't there? And builders.
Precisely. Yeah. And so take care, Sharon. Hopefully the internet gets sorted out.
Oh, bless. Bye, Sharon.
So really, it's like everybody. We all has to earn a living. We can't. You're not going to go to electricity board and say, "I want free electric." They're going to go, "Yeah, right. That's not going to happen, mate."
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
No, and there is. I mean, I've seen quite a few comments popping up there agreeing. And one particular that said, it is up to you whether you give your time free or whether you give or if you're charging, because basically you have to put a roof over your head, don't you? And you have to live and you have to feed your children. And Stacey said loads of con men out there with every job. Absolutely,
and
there
con
is.
women, con people.
And con women. Gosh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I just want to go back to what Kathy's saying here. Yes, we go to doctors when we need help. Healers should be too. This is a gift if it's free. Shouldn't be expected. But okay, look at doctors. They get paid by our tax money.
Absolutely, they do.
Right? Everybody who works in the NHS, we pay for. They don't do it for free. A lot of healers, Brian Walker, for example, does a lot of healing for free, especially with people who have cancer. That's his rule. If you got cancer, you get free healing with him. He does free. Everywhere you go, it's free. Every time I've known him for a few years now. I know you've known him longer than I have. Always free. And when he had his shop in Havant, he was paying it out of his own pocket, his own pension, to keep it governed, to help people walk in. And yes, he charged sometimes, but he never charged. He asked for a donation.
Yeah, it was a donation normally. And and as, again, if you can or want to, that is completely up to you. Doctors, we always think about the NHS being a free service. It isn't a free service at all. And that's why, they're struggling because there's not enough money of our taxes are going into it, and it's unfortunately they've made it a real mess because not enough funds are going into it. Like schools and education, there's not enough. I've worked in education, so I know that there's not enough funding that goes into education, and so taxes don't pay. Oh, sorry, Sheila says taxes don't pay our doctors. The patients pay the doctors here in the United States. Yeah, that's obviously that's because you have to have it like medical insurance and everything, don't you? There.
So just show that if you didn't have insurance, how much money that would cost to have medical care.
Absolutely.
We should be grateful for our NHS, really.
Oh gosh, we should be. Absolutely, we should be. Unfortunately, like I said, our taxes sometimes don't go far enough in resourcing, and that's not just like bandages and things like that. We're talking could be ventilators. It could be obviously they want the best medical stuff, don't they? Oh, Joanne's got her dinner on the table.
Oh, I could do a nice. I hope it's a roast dinner. I really fancy roast
dinner. I do. I do. So those that pay tax for doctors too. Okay. Yeah, it's true. So Wendy says it's hard when you do something kind for someone and it turns bad. It's very hard to not end up being very cynical of people you don't know. Is there more to that one?
No, that's it.
Okay.
It's hard when you do something for someone that's bad. But see, I think, you've got all these, we've got Trustpilot out there and other places that you can write reviews on. Now, even on SBTV, our directory, we have a review system on there. So for me, if you've had a bad experience with a plumber, electrician, or whatever the case may be, I'm sorry to keep picking on them, but the only people that spring to mind, you go straight onto the internet, you go to Trustpilot or any other review site, and you write review them. So why shouldn't mediums also be reviewed then?
Well, they can. I mean, a lot of them will do their own review system, but then there's some places that will be on, say, Yale.com, for example, where, I mean, I guess you could, if you did your own reviews, you could delete them if you didn't like them. If you had something like Yale.com or whatever it is, then obviously people can be as critical as they want to be, can't they? Yeah. And I mean, why not? I don't expect to get paid for helping friends and family. No, I mean, again, I've done lots
with friends, but I do charge
for
family.
Nothing. and I've done, prior to this last 2 years, I've done a lot for charity as well. And so I always say my giving back there is to charities, and I have, used at my own discretion whether I was going to charge somebody for healing or not. And but I just think it's an interesting one, and I think that if for example, somebody was on benefits and they can do that for nothing, that's amazing. If somebody has got a second job and just like to dip in and out of it and help people, brilliant. But when you're sort of keeping a roof over your head and food on the table, which I am, then obviously I have to, and I believe me, I live in a house in Pompey, and which I absolutely love, and nothing special to me. And yeah, absolutely, I don't live in any sort of lavish lifestyle, believe me, but I do everything that I can to help people as much as I can. So I always feel that, you know, it is giving back, and people have the choice whether they come to me or they don't. You know, don't they? You know, they have a choice. They can certainly, you know, come onto channels like this and see if they can get a reading, or they can book a private one for themselves. No one's forcing anyone to come. So basically, yeah, it's there should be balance anyway, shouldn't there? Like I said, I've done lots of things like exchanges for people as well when they can't afford it or I can't afford it, and that always works. You know, it doesn't have to be a reading for a reading. It could be a reading for a healing, or it could be a reading for a roast dinner. It doesn't really matter, does it? Really. Jane Morton lives in a shed.
That is true. We've seen it.
Yeah. Bless her. One day she'll break out of it. The thing is, we do keep her locked in it.
Well, we try. She climbs out the window all the time.
We just let her out every 2 weeks for the Sunday sofa. Emma says we're all amazing here. Hi, June Windybank. How are you? So, any interesting comments from there?
We've got loads of comments coming in. My friend doesn't charge me, but I've always been happy to pay for readings. So far, I've always been spot on and comforted me and helped me through rough times. How about this comment? Now, you mentioned earlier on. Let's jump on the subject, if you don't mind me changing just a little bit.
Go on.
About this topic, you said about a gift.
Yes.
Now, I've always called it an ability because I believe everybody has the ability. It's just something that needs to be switched on, and
Absolutely.
most people switched on when they're going through grief or other emotional situations. Was that where I said I live in a matchbox in the middle of a field?
Oh, poor Kimbo.
Yeah. So how come everybody's saying hello to you, but no one's saying hello to Richard, are they? Maybe because they don't know I'm here. That's what it is. Yeah.
It's because I'm better looking. Hi, Marie. How are you?
Chic. Yeah. So you don't mind the word gift?
No, I don't actually use it for myself because I don't feel it's a gift. I feel it's a calling for myself.
Yeah, but why would you say calling though?
Because everything else I try and do never works, and it always comes back to this. So it's my calling. So don't get me wrong, I do love it, but there's been times when I haven't. I think everybody goes through the ups and downs with any job or career, don't they? But there was times when I've been so tired and exhausted, or I've let myself get put upon, let's say, in the years, and I just wanted to step back from it. Every time I do, I'm ill. I'm ill until I start doing it again. And every other project I do that is unrelated to anything spiritual doesn't work.
Really?
Absolutely.
How bizarre. Right, we've got a couple of questions that's come in that I agree. I think you should charge for your time, as you are a human who needs to live. Absolutely, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Debbie.
Right, Joyce asked, what is transfiguration?
Transfiguration. Now, transfiguration is when, I don't know how much you know about other sort of disciplines of mediumships, etc., Joy, but if you have heard of trance mediumship and physical mediumship, it's on a different level, let's say, than mental mediumship, even though some people will say that trance mediumship is a form of mental mediumship. I feel it depends on what stage you're at. I do feel like if you're in a, let's say, a light trance state or altered state and you're channeling, then it is more on the mental mediumship side. If you are then going into a deeper state, a deeper altered state, then you're getting more into sort of trance work when basically you get out the way and you let your spirit guides or whoever, could be I use my spirit guides. However, some people claim that they're able to channel people's loved ones through trance, and I haven't seen a convincing one yet, but hopefully I will do one day. But transfiguration is more of a, let's say, a physical phenomena where your facial features start to change. So it wouldn't just be overshadowing, which is literally just sort of like almost a shadow sort of forming a different sort of maybe face. It's more the fact when spirit are using either ectoplasm or photoplasm to sort of like say make a mask over your face, and you will end up resembling, looking like whoever you are channeling. So basically that is what transfiguration is. Anything to add to that, Mr. Producer?
No, I think you spot on. And sometimes they also, the voice can change to resemble the person that was there as well. Yeah.
That's not so much the transfiguration. That's more the
audio.
That's more the It's more the look on the face. So if you have watched a trance medium who is in very deep trance, that's going more into the physical phenomena, then you might see that their face is changing, so they don't even look like them at all. Okay, so you almost forget that person that you know or that you're going to watch. It just doesn't look like them anymore. So I hope that makes sense to you, Joy. Were you going to pull Joy a card there?
No, I just thought I'd change the view. I thought the card is, that's one of my favourite cards from this deck. And it says magic, make a wish, believe in miracles, and magic surrounds you. I just like it. I'll bring it up closer to the camera so you can see a bit more. I just think it's such a beautiful card, and I'm giving that to everybody today. Make a wish, believe in miracles, and magic surrounds you.
That is a beautiful card.
Is,
now, I'm going to pull Joy a card because she has to go a question of one of my most favourite things. Right then, let's have a look for Joy. Oh, Joy. Oh, Joy. Right, okay,
Joy
what
to
have we got
the
here?
world.
We've got the Six of Pentacles there. But we also had strength as well. Okay, so to me, Joy, that says that there might have been a little bit of a funny time going on, all right, with you. It's either with you or somebody around you where there's been sort of, let's say, financial things going on, things that have felt tight, or you're trying to sort of like literally sort out where the money's going and how you're going to get the money in. Like I said, it might not be you, it's very close to your family. If this doesn't make sense now, then it will. Okay, now this is saying just hold on, all right? Don't worry too much about the financial situation. Now, if there is a financial situation, we often do worry rather a lot because, you know, we have to live. However, this is saying just don't worry about it, okay? It's sort of in the process of getting sorted out. Now, this also can mean that a gift of money may be coming, okay? So this could be a loan. It could be something... a gift of money, so literally somebody giving you money. Sometimes it does come under the category of money being left to you or to the family. So this is saying, look, just don't worry as much as you're worrying, okay? And especially, like I said, might not be you, it might be somebody close to your family. But this is saying it will get sorted, it will become in order, it will all do that. And then you feel like you can just walk away from this situation with your head held high and not worry about it anymore. It's all sorted out. Don't worry also about what anybody else is thinking around you. What matters is what makes you happy, Joy, at the moment. So this might be a time where there's people that are very opinionated around you as well, or deciding what's right for you. I want to say you decide what's right for you, Joy. Nobody else should be sticking their oar in. There was no other way of saying that. Nobody else should be sticking their oar in on your business. You decide what you're doing. Definitely don't worry about the money situation. It is going to get sorted out around you as well. I hope that makes some sense to you, Joy. Let us know, please, if that does make sense to you.
Keeping on to that subject, Millie B's come up with carrying on, because could some people get mixed up with transfiguration and possession? Or have I been watching too many horrors?
You've been watching too many horrors, Millie. To be fair, there are some shows or films that are supposed to be based on true stories. Now, because obviously me and Richard weren't at the scene when these things were supposed to have happened, it's even like The Exorcist is based on a true story. It just didn't happen to that girl of that name. I think it actually happened to a boy. Am I right in that? It's a true story anyway, or based on a true story. But the girl wasn't called whatever she was called in that. What was she called? It began with an R, didn't it?
I can't remember. I haven't watched the film in years.
Yeah. So it was based on it. Now, there's other films as well that are based on true stories. I watched one the other day. It was about this priest that went and it was a young priest, and he went round to these places and started, getting this devil out of this girl and everything. I can't say it's not true because I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I didn't see what happened. I didn't see the bed shaking, and I didn't see all that. So I can't dismiss it. I can't dismiss that can happen. However, if you are sitting for trance mediumship or physical mediumship, I'd like to think and hope that the people that were sitting there had gone through some training and a lot of practice and sat in a circle with people that they knew what they were doing, because I did that. I did it for years before I came out onto the circuit doing trance mediumship. I know, I trust my guides. I know that if I had a new guide, before I felt comfortable, I would be in a lighter trance state before I let them come through, because I'm disciplined. And all the other trance mediums and physical mediums that I know would also be as disciplined. They're not just going to let anybody come into their body. So I haven't seen it. I have seen somebody channel something I didn't like, and then I brought them back and told them not to do that again, to be more disciplined. I didn't want to sit with them again because I didn't trust that they wouldn't. So it's one of those things. I can't say never. I've never seen anything like that, though. Have you, Richard?
No, all only one I can remember was the Entity, which was based on a poltergeist.
Yes, and a bit rude, that one.
Yeah, because they had to demolish the house, and nothing's been built on it ever since on the land, if I remember rightly.
Is that a true story?
Yeah, it's based on a true story. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, but for me, I think with Transfiguration and Procession, it always reminds me of when you talk about spirit allowing to come in and give permission. Is that the film Ghost with Patrick Swayze?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's funny. I think it's a brilliant film.
It is a funny film.
Yeah.
It is.
And that's
Sorry,
what yeah, it's okay. So that's what you actually allow me to speak? Really? And, yeah, so when obviously the spirit energy comes in, you're allowing that to happen, aren't you? I think when possession happens is when you don't give permission and it takes over. And this is where you need a professional medium to actually deal with that situation. So this is why if you're going on any paranormal or anything that you feel could cause issues, then seek professionalism. But this then brings me on to another thing.
Go on.
If I'm going to let all the comments just come flying through now. If that's the case, how did that spirit energy take over the body in the first place? Because surely we have a spirit guide, our gatekeeper, if you want to call it that, is there to protect us. So surely our spirit guide wouldn't allow that to happen. So where's my spirit guide? Is he off playing bingo, kicking a football or something while this spirit comes in?
Well, again, I can't poo-poo things. However, I have been on paranormal investigations, and there's been people. Sometimes it's the leader of the investigation that is like proper drama. Sometimes it's the people that are there. And I'm like standing, believe me, I've been working with spirit for years and years and years. If I go into a place and then this is a horrible feeling, then I'd be very, very careful about letting my guard down. If I was like it's like I went to the Guildhall once, and I can't even remember, not that I would name it, because I wouldn't, the paranormal people that I went with, they were some sort of group. Never heard from them before, never heard from them again. And we're down in a certain area in the Guildhall in Portsmouth, and she's like stood there and she's saying, I won't say exactly what she said, but it was all this massive dramatic thing that she was going on about, and that there's been people raped and maimed down there, etc. And I went, no, there wasn't. And she went, pardon? And everyone's also getting in with the drama, and then she was a bit taken over and everything else. And I'm thinking, you're supposed to be leading this investigation, and you're like, it was quite like watching some really, really badly made ghost show on the TV. You know, it was awful. And she's like saying all this over exaggeration, and I said, no, it wasn't. No, they weren't. And she said, well, how do you know? I said, because I'd feel it. And well, she didn't like me after that, clearly. So we went and split off and did our own thing. But some people just get very carried away, and some people's minds go a little bit wappy on them in a scary situation. Some people down the tunnels at Fort Widley, for example, you know, I think something brushed against one of them, and then they're all screaming. And I was like, it's probably a moth, you know what I mean? It was probably anything.
It just made me laugh when you got mediums going to all this, and all of a sudden they start screaming and shouting, there's a spirit. You're thinking, but you talk to them all the time. What's the problem?
Yeah, honestly. But there is places I've been where I would never, ever spiritually let my guard down, because I can feel the horrible energy in somewhere. And if I saw anybody that started getting dizzy or feeling like they were overtaken, and if I was there, whether I was a leader or not a leader, I would get them straight out of there. Unfortunately, when you have some sort of more amateur places, more amateur groups, they don't really know what they're looking at. They don't need that person, needs to get out of that environment and start being grounded, give them a drink, you know what I mean? Start bringing them back, talking to them, rather than being in a panic. Because you can get overtaken with the energy. It's not necessarily being possessed by it. But, I mean, I don't know if you, Richard, have you ever walked into a house or a room or somewhere or a situation and thought, oh, I really hate it, I need to get out?
Yeah, I was like that when I ran your house the other week. Yeah, I think we all have that sixth sense, don't we? It's like when we meet people, I think I don't feel comfortable with this person, or whatever the case may be. And I don't believe that's spirit at all in any way. I believe that's just our own sensitivity, that we feel a negative, like animals, dogs, for example.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they sense that, they feel all that as well. So why can't us humans?
Absolutely, they can. Of course we can. And yeah, I just think that, and by the way, it wasn't even around my house. It's taken me that long to like get that bit. He didn't even come around my house, so you can't even say it's bad. Yeah, a lot of people are very dramatic, and they just get all engrossed in it. And I've seen somebody go, oh, I got poked in the eye. And I was thinking, well, no one else seems to be overtaken by anything and they're poked in the eye, you know. And I thought, well, actually, I feel like poking them in the eye myself because they're being a drama queen. But I didn't. So let's read Claire's. That's interesting you mentioned about feelings. I was in a house and got a really heavy feeling in my, was that chest?
Chest, yeah. In my
and
chest.
The air felt heavy and wondered what it was. I never felt that again. Suspect it was negative energy. Could well have been, Claire. Absolutely. It depends whether you were just visiting a house. It doesn't actually depend either at all. Or going to view a house. You'll get a good feeling. You might walk into an old wreck of a house and think, you know, this has got the best feeling ever. We had this conversation a while back before Christmas, me and Jane. And then you can walk into like this show home and it's got the worst feeling ever. And probably the worst feeling ever because they've spent so much time cleaning that they don't have a life and they're always arguing. You know, it could be that. So, and if you get like an accumulation of bad energy, argumentative energy, negative energy, then of course you're going to feel it. Absolutely. Like Richard said, you might meet a person, everyone says, oh, they're really nice. And you meet them and you think, no, they're not. Not for me. And trust your gut. Trust your gut instinct, I always say. What's Denise saying there? I pulled up at a spiritual sanctuary once and felt weird energy on pulling up outside.
She did go in.
Did go in with my friend, but felt strange the whole time. Found out they did seances there, etc. Yeah, seances are cool, as long as they're done properly. Love a seance. Love a seance.
If
So,
I could
what?
just backtrack a little bit, when I mentioned about where's our guides, they said they need your permission to help and interfere. See,
Oh,
I can't agree with that. I'm sorry,
I
Stace.
I don't agree with it either. I'm going to be honest.
This is my own opinion. Obviously, everybody's right to their opinion, and I'm not saying mine's right and yours wrong. Absolutely not saying that. But if that is the case, if they need your permission to interfere, then all bad things are going to happen. Surely.
But then we have got to take personal responsibility as well for what we do. It's not just about our guides, is it?
Yeah,
So in
okay,
one
then.
way, I understand what Stacey's saying,
Yeah.
because, I mean, it's like praying, for example, if you believe in God or whatever God you might believe in, or the universe. Sometimes we pray for something. That might be for our health, it might be for our family's health, it could be for a parking space, it could be for anything, isn't it?
Don't get
But
me
it
on
could
that.
be, right? But whatever people like to do. But you know, if I was walking around, driving around really cross around where I live, like thinking, oh, I can't get a parking space, like that. When I do find this little parking space, I won't be able to get in it because I'm so wound up. Okay, so sometimes the intention out there is great, isn't it? But like you said, Richard, as well, I do think that they intervene if they have to. I always think they're trying to poke us in the right direction. Whether we listen to them or not is another thing, isn't it?
But okay, then. So then, how can you say that when so much bad things has happened in the world? So where's spirit there then? When spirit's saying, I know you say you got free will, but surely if our guides are there to help us, which I find very strange, was it how many billions of people in the world at the moment? Was it 8 billion? Let's have a look. How many humans?
I have no clue on how many people there are in the world.
7.9 billion people. So you're telling me everybody's meant to have a guide. So there's 7.9 billion guides. Where
Well,
are
actually,
they?
I've got more than one guide.
Okay then. So let's say 8 billion then, just round it off. Where are these guides?
I don't think that anybody should. I always think we're guided, and I think we're guided in the right direction. And I do think some people are supposed to have long lives, and some people aren't supposed to have long lives. That's basically what I'm saying. And I feel like if anyone believes in reincarnation and karma, I think that a lot of the time we're put into situations to learn our karmic lessons. And if we're not put into a situation to learn our karmic lessons, we can't learn them. And so we keep coming back and trying to learn the same lesson. So if everything was perfect and then we didn't learn those lessons, how are we going to evolve, and how are we going to have our epiphanies? How are we going to become better people?
Yeah. Okay, then let me just plug this one in if I can. What if, behave yourself, what if we don't have guides as such, but the guides are us? But we come in a different form.
That sounds like a shop. Guides are us. Just going to go down Guides are us, because I don't know who my guide is, right?
Well, yeah.
Speaking of the guide.
Can I have a Chinese? Can I have an Indian? They say, well, takeaways next door, love. But see, that brings me on. What if we are a bit of our soul, energy, spirit, whatever, is still in the spirit world, which they say it is. And isn't that could be our guide, but the guide comes in at a different person, different personality, because that's what we want. See, what I can't comprehend is why would a Native American Indian who has no idea who I am want to come in and guide me? Now, I was speaking to a colleague who was telling me that they are related to the American Indians, and they find this completely insulting. They totally disagree with that, and what they say is their ancestors will only come in to guide their own ancestors. So when people say I have a Native American Indian, they get upset because they believe it's not true.
Well, I haven't got a Native American Indian. Just to change the subject wholly, which has really been freaking me out. Okay, where is my little rectangle on the screen here? I thought that there was something on fire in the corner of my room there, and I just had to look really close, and it's your little your candle flame. Honestly, I was getting really nervous there.
Can't you hear the
Thought,
crackle of the flames?
right, I can see the little flame, but it's next to the box. My little box.
Oh right, it's your box. You're in a box.
Denise
You're in a
and
cardboard
Izzy
box. You're living in a
did.
box.
Big fish, little fish, cardboard box. Izzy and Denise are liking your what ifs, but
Yes, yeah.
I don't disagree. I can't again.
Yet again, you can't because
Say,
until you go over
I
there,
can't.
you won't know.
No.
See, that's another thing. Why I hear so many mediums given their opinions and their thoughts and then blaming spirit for it. I think people should take personal responsibility, stop blaming the medium, or the medium should stop blaming or giving excuses, and just be honest. I don't know that question. Next time I'm in trance, ask it to the medium. And we did that, if you remember rightly. We did a test, which I still haven't done. I'm way behind. I said I'd be ready by September, and I still haven't done it. We had a lot of trance mediums come in. They were asked 10 questions, all the same questions, different mediums, and we had a completely different way of answers, different answers to most of the questions. Some were very similar, but there were about 3 which was more the same, where everybody else was totally different. And when I see people in trance, I don't believe they are in trance. You're the expert in trances, so maybe you can answer this for me. I don't believe people are in trance most of the time. I think they are possibly overshadowed. And what I don't like, and what really upsets me the most, and I find it insulting to spirit, and I have witnessed many mediums who say they have a Chinese guide, or they have an Indian guide, or they have a butcher from next door, for example, and then let's just pick on the Chinese trance mediums, for example, because it's easier. They squint their eyes, they do a Chinese voice, and then they pretend that they're Chinese guides. Now, I'm not saying they're fakes, I'm definitely not saying that, but it infuriates me why a lot of people keep saying this and doing this. I don't understand it. Why mediums close their eyes and, I don't know, it's just pretend to be something they're not. And then they're not in trance, they just say, look, I could be overshadowed, these are my thoughts, but spirit are intervening and just giving me these words to say.
They could well be being overshadowed. If you don't feel, I mean, I don't know what you've seen, okay? So I know what I do, and I know that I believe that I am genuine, and I hope that anybody who has watched me do trance does feel that I'm genuine. And obviously, I don't know, I like to watch it back. But if you've seen that and you feel like they're not in deep trance, there's a lot of people now that tend to say like an altered state, or you're working in the altered states, or an altered state medium. Because if you think about the altered states, they are vast. You could be, when I do platform mediumship, and most of the people that do platform mediumship and stand on stage and give out messages about loved ones,
Hi, Sam.
they're in a slightly altered state. And because, you often see them sort of a bit glazed over, they're giving this message, and they're not maybe wholly here, but they are here because they're then giving the message and then hearing the reply, for example. And they are still working in a slightly altered state. They are. And that's why I said earlier that a lot of people say that working in trance is still mental mediumship, and to a degree it is. If you have somebody that is in a light state and are channeling, yes, they're in an altered state. They're not necessarily trance mediums. They're channeling, and yes, they might have mediums close eyes and their eyeballs disappear. I've never tried that. One day. But yeah. So I think that it might be fair to say that some people aren't in a whole trance state, or deep trance state. They are in a light trance, or maybe sort of slightly mild to medium, let's say. And yes, they are channeling, and yes, they are being overshadowed by something, or some guide or somebody. Doesn't necessarily mean they're in a deep trance. And I think you have to obviously use your discretion when you're watching these. Not everyone's going to be the same. Not everybody's going to be working at the same depth. I I've seen some really good trants and I've seen some really bad trants. I've seen some bad trants where it's basically their opinion. I know it's their opinion because I know that they read about 50,000 books on the fifth dimension. They know everything about the fifth dimension, and for example, and so when they're channeling, then they're talking about the fifth dimension. But I know that they've read about, loads of books about the fifth dimension, or off the internet about the fifth dimension, or somebody will claim that they're channeling Arthur Conan Doyle. In fact, I went on this retreat, and 5 people were. 5 different people were, and I'm like, what? How can they all be channeling the same person? I don't know. I don't know. It was a bit beyond me, to be fair.
Talking about trance, we've got you on the March the 13th, Sunday, March the 13th, I believe, which is for VIPs. So if you are a VIP to SBTV, you will be invited to come and watch Polly live. We're also going to be on location in our lovely 1940s coffee place with the lovely Jackie.
Oh, it's lovely there. Love Jackie.
And we're going to be in person. So if you live local to the Havant/Portsmouth area, then come on down and see Polly. Those who want to watch the show, there's going to be a small fee for people to come in and ask questions to Polly as well. The reason why we're charging is because Polly's been on here for over 2 years now, and she gives all her time for free. So I felt really it was only respectful, going back to what we were saying at the beginning of the show, that we could do a contribution to you, Polly, for taking part. And I know you don't really like all that, but this is what I've decided to do. So if you do want to watch Polly, we'll be putting up a pay under our event section, so you can come along, watch and ask questions while Polly's in trance. If you live close, then a small contribution to help to donate to Polly for giving her time to SBTV. I think that's only fair. So I just want to say thank you for all the times you do give SBTV.
Thank you very much.
So
I don't expect it, however. I just want to answer a couple of questions. It was Tony and Amy. Tony, no, I don't tend to know what's going on in trance when I trance, because I feel like I go out the back door and just let them get on with it. However, before I go into a deep trance, I will have an awareness, let's say, of who is there. So I might have a feeling that, I know the energies of my guides. So when that happens, I think, no, it's okay. I feel safe. I feel okay. So I'm going to let myself go. If, like I said earlier, if I didn't know who was coming and it felt really different, then I'd either sit with somebody that I trusted, like Brian, Lulu, Nigel, which you might have seen on here before as well, because I know that they're going to look after me and they wouldn't let anything bad happen to me. So yeah, I absolutely just let myself go with that. And Amy Curtis, she said, have I ever been fearful in trance? Yes, I have, actually. And that was when a new guide was coming in, and I went really deep, so deep. I don't think I've ever been so deep before. And I literally felt like I was in a pyramid, and there was this pyramid that was almost like, it was like, if you imagine made of bits of wood, or if anyone's seen a copper pyramid, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I felt like I was in it, and I was almost like doing this really weird sort of like this. I was going like this, and I was in outer space. I don't know what they were doing to me or where they were taking to me, but it really took so much discipline to get back. And yes, I did feel actually quite fearful. Not because it was scary who was coming in, more the fact that I'd never done that before, and I felt like I was in outer space. So yeah, luckily I was in a safe environment, again in my trance group that I've sat with for a long time. And so yeah, it's one part of that, really, part of my ascension maybe.
So
I had to go through it. Cloud
and all over the place.
Absolutely.
You need to stop smoking that stuff.
So I think that you should give Amy Curtis a card.
Oh, me? Go on, off you go then.
Yeah, you can.
No, I don't, because I don't know, because this is a serious show and a bit of where my shows are just a bit of fun.
But I know Amy, so I think it would be better if you
the answer's
gave
still
her
no.
a card.
The answer's still
well,
no.
what card's on there?
Well, that's trust. Leap into the unknown, have faith and move forward, believe, and you will fly. I'm just doing it randomly so people can have something different to look at.
So from that card, because I felt like it had to be from you, Amy, so that's trust. I want to say trusting in your abilities, trusting. What's it under the horse? The Pegasus.
It's just on the ledge.
It's on a ledge. Oh, interesting. So this is like the Pegasus, or it is a Pegasus, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a Pegasus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's standing on like almost like a little ledge or a podium, let's say, Amy. So this card here is saying to you that you just need to start trusting. And I know that's easy to say, harder to do. But you do need to start trusting in what you're getting, your abilities, the information that you're getting. Really trust now, because this is almost like your leap of faith moment here. You're probably going to get more coming, actually. I want to say 4 weeks' time there might be something coming up where you've either got a slightly bigger audience or you feel a little bit nervous. However, just talk. What I want you to do is just talk, all right? So like I do sometimes, talk the hind legs off a donkey, me. So just talking, just easing yourself into it, talking to your audience. It can be about any random thing before you go into the mediumship, if that's what you're doing on this occasion. Just trust the information you're getting. Trust that if it doesn't make sense to them now, it is going to make sense to you into the future, Amy. So keep going with it. Trust
Yeah.
like dust.
Changing subject, shall we? Completely.
Here we go.
No, I just like what Wendy just said there about, do you think people's expectations of mediums have changed? I see a lot with set ideas of what they expect, and if the reading doesn't reflect it, they're not happy. I always just wait and see without expectation. I think it has over the years, and I think
it has.
We have proven without a shadow of a doubt, you do not just need to sit into a church with your arms unfolded. You don't need to speak up in church. Well, you do, obviously, if the medium needs to hear your responses. That I give. But I remember when I was going to church, and I always was told I've got to put my legs flat on the surface
I was
to
wondering
touch the
what
earth.
you were going to say there.
Behave. Unfold my arms because spirit can't get round there. And I just thought, what are you talking about?
Oh,
I'm on the first floor. You know what I mean? So say that again. Sorry.
I slightly disagree with you.
Doesn't spirit work with the mind?
Yes, spirit works with the mind.
So
but
what's it got to do with crossing your arms or legs?
Right.
No.
Well, the first thing is that if you've got your arms crossed like this, you're almost saying that you don't want.
No, you're not.
You don't
no,
want
that's
that
not
reading.
true.
Yes,
no,
you are.
That is an old.
I
That is an
totally
old.
disagree.
No, that is an old wives' tale, let's say. Or if
You
you're
are
putting your arms
also-
crossed, you are blocking and you are you're negative. That's not true. I sit down.
No. It's not that you're negative.
Relaxing and cross my arms. That's not blocking spirit. That's not going to stop spirit. That's not going to put barriers up. That is how the person, i.e. the medium, intention to it. So they see someone sitting it, well, best not go to them because that's a negative. They're putting barriers up. That's not true. It is definitely not true.
It's slightly true.
No, it's not.
It's not fully true because, like you said, if you're just relaxing but you had a really open mind, that's a very different thing. I have people in here that, I'm in the shed where I do readings now. If I have somebody sitting opposite me, you can tell by their body language if I've touched a nerve. And the moment they've got their arms crossed like that because they don't want me to delve deeper into that. However, that's part of the problem maybe of what's about to happen, okay, or what needs to change so that they can improve their situation. So I will dig into it. And a bit different in a platform mediumship situation because you've got lots of people and you tend not to go as deep as in, when I say deep into a situation. But you do get people that sit in the audience and they're turned away from you, and it's typical body language. They've got their arms like that. However, that wouldn't put me off giving them a reading. I'd wonder why they'd come in the first place, maybe, if they were going to be like that. And sometimes you get somebody that's sort of a bit, cynical or whatever, and until they relax. But then there's techniques you can use to make people relax. It's not cheating, It's like here, if somebody looks nervous, I'll say, right, okay, I've got crystals here. Like, hold that crystal. Now, these crystals are charged up. They're not charged up to do anything magic. They're just charged up with positivity, love, or healing, or whatever I feel like the person needs. I've got loads of different things going on here.
Yeah, but see, to you too. But
Loads of balls.
but then again, I just read what Andrea said about I've been to lots of churches and they say, yes, you are blocking. Now, yes, I agree that the body language does come into it, but blocking of the arms doesn't. It's the mind, it's the mindset that blocks. When a person has this mindset, they then react with their body. So hence why crossing off the legs, crossing off the arms and so forth. But it's not that, that's what I'm saying. It's not that blocks spirit. It's the mind that is blocking this, not the body
absolutely.
language. But can I
Yeah,
just go, sorry to change something,
yeah.
Polly, but I just want to go
Go on.
back to Rose has said something about to suggest that mediums cannot have red Indian guys is silly. I do have red Indian blood, but when you think of how mixed we all are now, plus the beliefs in the tribes which were spiritual once in spirit, I can't accept what that would be racist. Can I just remind you, Rose, I don't know if you caught the beginning of what I said. I was talking to a friend of mine who is half Indian, and it's her words what I repeated. They're not my words or my thoughts, they were hers. So I'm just saying, I'm just making sure that's out there. It was what she was telling to me, how she felt it was racist, and that her tribe, let's say, I suppose you would call that, felt the same way. Hence why she brought it up in a conversation with me.
And it would depend on religions or cultures, wouldn't it? I mean, there's so many religions and so many cultures.
Yeah.
They all have different beliefs. I mean, some don't believe in reincarnation, some do, and you know, some think spiritualism is absolutely the devil's work, but it isn't. So you know, there's lots of different, and it's a discussion point, let's say.
Yeah.
Discussion point.
Absolutely.
Sampert, I need to focus more on the spirit than on the sitter. Of course, everyone brings their energy, but I connect to spirit and give what I get. Good for you, Sam.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, isn't it? Allow spirit
Absolutely.
to communicate. And what I like about when we do these mediumship sort of demos on the channel here is that they can't see the recipient, so there's no body language. All they're going for, all they're doing is literally trusting spirit 100%. That's all they can do, and surely that's what mediums should be doing anyway. Even when you're doing a one-to-one sit-in, I don't know how people sit when they're doing readings, but surely you can still sit with their back to you and still give a reading.
Oh, absolutely. I've got my development group to do that. Well, one hand on their back, and to feel the energy and psychically and mediumship. And we've also, my favourite one is to blindfold them so they don't know who's sitting in front of them. So that was one of my favourite ones, because we call them blind readings. So you just, basically, you have like group A and group B. So group A is sitting down at their tables and then with their blindfold on, and then the other one comes down, sits there, and all they're allowed to do is hold hands. That's it. And so they just have to give what they get. Scary as hell, but they do, and they were absolutely phenomenal because they couldn't see them. They just had to talk. They didn't get involved. They weren't looking at their body language. They weren't getting a response, so they just had to carry on talking. It was amazing, and it's an amazing thing to do and try, especially if you're like developing yourself. It takes a lot of, even though it sounds scary, it takes a lot of pressure off, to be fair.
I like Millie B question. How do mediums work to stop it? You. How do mediums work? How do mediums work together and connect to the same spirit, even if they are miles apart from each other? I've always been surprised by that.
Do you mean if they are doing a mediumship
like a double
event?
link? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, that's easy. I mean, that's easy. The thing is, well, it is easy actually, because if you are a developing medium and you sit in a group, for example, loads of times we'll get one person connect into one, and then suddenly the same person will connect into that same spirit and get something else. It happens a lot. It happens in churches when you get double links. It happens everywhere. But if I was working with, I don't know anybody. I don't know any mediums that live in other countries, but if I did, however, or if I was maybe on here with Kirsty and Matt. Kirsty and Matt live in Dover area. I live in
Rachel
Portsmouth.
as well.
I've got Rachel, that's over in America. And if you're working together, for one, then you get that sort of link of working, that energetic link of working together, even if it's on a screen. And then obviously you've got one person coming in, then suddenly you can link into that. It's actually easy to do that, really. I know quite a few people that do work together like that. I can't explain why exactly. It's just because you've working together, you've got that link, and then you're both maybe talking to the same person and getting the comments up, and then you start to link in with them as well. Like if I was giving you a reading, Millie, and then Richard might think, oh, you know, I really need to say this to Millie. We're not in the same room, we're not in the same place, and easily he could pick up on it if he wanted to, and admitted that he was a really good medium.
Moving on. Carrie has spoken up. She goes, I would love to know how to block spirits for my 12-year-old son who is a medium. He is so scared of all the spirits that he sees and hears all the time. We have tried all the medications, and we have worked. We have tried all the medications, which none worked, of course, because it isn't mental but spiritual. He also have autism, who takes it to another level.
Well, you'll probably find it if you read up about indigo children and crystal children. They are very intensely spiritual and psychic and natural mediums. Obviously, I was going to say, you know, use your child, your opinion. However, I would not give a child medication unless obviously you thought that they had a mental illness, and then even then it's sort of, there might be other ways of looking at things. To be honest, what I feel, Carrie, is that your son needs to go to a, let's say, a decent medium or teacher that would be able to show him how to open up, close down, and ground himself. Sometimes just having something like crystals around the bed, for example. You know, there's lots of different ways and means of discipline. Unfortunately, when you're 12 and very open, you know, you do get scared. You do get worried about the information. As long as it's nothing bad, as long as it's like good information, I would say, let's say, encourage it to a degree, as long as he's happy to, but find a really good medium teacher that can help you with or help him with some exercises that he can do so he feels in control. I've had it myself, and as young as that, where I used to see faces, literally faces coming in, and they're trying to talk to me, and it feels like they're talking to me all at once, and obviously at that point, I didn't even tell anybody. I was felt really out of control with it. And so I used to end up having to have some music on or a radio on or something to distract me. It might just be worth him doing that, and using maybe like protection crystals or protection techniques. There's protection meditations, all sorts of things that he can do just to feel more in control. What do you think, Mr. P?
Yeah, what you said.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was too busy reading all the comments coming up.
No, that's fine. But it is really important. It is really, really important. Because if you think about it, at the moment, there's, well, again, don't know what Mr. Producer thinks or anyone out there, but we are in a new age. We are working in a new age. It's all very weird and different. And there's all sorts of things and shifts going on. And there's some extremely psychic and spiritual children. And a lot of these children have got autistic tendencies. It's part the parcel, as in they are very sensitive, these children. You know, we want all these children to fit into our society. Actually, I feel like we should be fitting into theirs, where life is really much more simple. The routines aren't like the daily slog and the education system. Some children just don't learn like that. Some children shouldn't be in that environment. Some children should be learning outside. I think they should make loads of forest schools, to be fair. But that's my opinion and what I think. I think it's really important that children, especially with autistic tendencies, they're you know, allowed to live in their way as well as our way. Not our way. I'd be happy living in the middle of a field.
Hi to Rachel, who's on. Just talk about her, and there she is, look. Saying it's
snowing
and freezing cold.
Oh, Rachel. Poor you. Wrap up.
Just diverting over. We've got to do some adverts, Polly.
Okay. Right.
So here we go.
It's your turn.
It's my turn now, yeah. So tomorrow morning we have brunch. It's not with Alison tomorrow. It is with me and a young lady called Bree, who's going to be introducing her new show and talking about her new show, plus offering readings at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Tomorrow night we have the lovely Matt and Kirsty, who are back on the channel answering your spiritual questions and giving you readings for oracle readings or mediumship. Talking about Bree, that starts this Thursday, so hopefully you can tune in from that at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's that early because she's in Australia, so for her it's 12 hours difference. And then we have our event on June the 11th with Matt and Kirsty, some dodgy woman called Polly, and Bill Hughes, who's going to be doing a demonstration of mediumship at the Waterlooville Community Centre. It will be broadcasted, but no one watching will receive any messages. It's only for those who are actually in attendance. Also, on the same day, we're doing an holistic fair, doing readings, holistical stuff, as they say.
All holistical stuff, mate.
Stuff.
So, how long have we got left, Mr. Producer?
About 10 minutes.
Right, shall we do a few cards, but you have
can.
to join in?
No, I don't do cards.
You can.
I don't.
Right,
I only do them on
these
my own
are
show.
going to be a quick fire round, quick fire messages there. Okay. So, who has been contributing, Mr. Producer?
Me.
Apart from you.
Oh.
You nutter.
That's not fair. I'm going to complain to the management. I am the management. Right. We've had Tony, who's been contribution. We've had Jenny. Nearly everybody has actually. Millie B, Sam Pert's been there.
Oh, Tony, that name just sprang in
Tony
my
Wright.
brain.
There we go.
Tony Wright. She is getting a card. Whoa, my God. I've just literally thrown my whole cards. There with.
In other words, she can't shuffle the cards. That's what it means. Not spirit saying, "Oh, that's the card you need to pick." No, it's just that she can't shuffle them.
Oh my Lord!
Have you picked up your? You've dropped your bits.
Picked them up. The bits are all over the place. Right. Literally all over the place. Right, let's try that again, shall we? So, Tony. I've got my earphones in a peculiar fashion. Okay. Oh, Tony. Right, Tony. Right, the moon card you have there, and you've also got the alchemist flying out as well. Now, the moon card is a very karmic card. It's about karmic cycles. It's about things, what goes around, turn around. What goes around, comes around as well there. So I do feel like you might have had a bit of a tricky time with things going on at the moment. And I want to say you might have felt like there's been a bit of a letdown around you as well, or somebody feels like they've let you down. This is a temporary thing. It's really important that you keep get your power back on situations. If anybody is taking off you, this is a time to get your power back, really, Tony. And also, I do want to say, are you interested in magic? I just keep seeing this card as magic with you, and spells, actually. It just feels like there should be an interest in affirmations or spells or something going on with you. Almost there's a difference between hoodoo and voodoo. Hoodoo is actually a very good thing, but I actually feel like you should be, maybe if there's been an interest, it's almost like, let's make these intentions or these intention spells or something here that's going to sort of get you where you want to go. All right, everything feels like you've been all over the place. But this is a time for picking yourself up, all right? Not giving your energy to people that aren't giving anything back to you as well, Tony. All right. I do feel like you've got a really good heart and people are taking a little bit of advantage of you. But I want to say, just making sure that you can keep going for what you want. Don't take no for an answer. Start thinking about affirmations and the way you see things, the way you see yourself. Everything's going to start looking up for you, Tony. So I hope that makes sense. Right.
One quick thing which I've totally forgot. When I was doing your reading, I was shuffling and I pulled out the card Courage. But just something quick. So I've just read the comments in the chat to Stace and everybody else who are VIPs. This is my fault and I do apologise. I've been so busy I haven't had time to do it. There is no mediumship development courses for the next few weeks, for a month. We are just going to change things around. I've been kept on from Terry to keep posting it into the lounge about this, and I keep forgetting to do it. So my apologies there, as I said. I will post later on today as to why the mediumship development with Marcus has been cancelled or postponed for the time being for the next 4 weeks, because we're going to reschedule everything around, change things around, and hopefully keep an eye out for the comments or for the post that I put in the lounge. That's for the SBTV VIP members. So there you go.
Okay, right.
So we've also we have Rose, who's been chatting away with us,
Rose, let's have Rose. Okay, Rose. God, this strength card keeps popping up. Right, hang on. There's another card for Rose. Oh. They're very funny cards coming out today. All right, it feels like everyone might have been having a little bit of a rough trot, because you've just had 3 fly out. For some reason, I can't shuffle today, but they all want to fly out. You've got 3. You've got the Strengths card, which is there. You have the 5 of Pentacles, which is there, and also the 7 of Swords. They're all quite tricky cards there, Rose. Now, is it you or somebody around you has been having, let's say, a problem with somebody that you maybe shouldn't be listening to or shouldn't trust? This is a time for having some real respect for yourself, Rose, okay? Now, sometimes it's even family members that can sort of be issues, or close friends or family, people that are either taking or wanting, or, you know, and not giving back in that sort of balance again. It's quite funny how we've got 2 readings quite like that. But this is like to start like stepping back and also saying no to people, Rose. Now, you are a complete empath. You seem to be like one of those people that everybody goes to, everybody puts their problems on, you know, and you sort of willingly can take that and help people because you want to, because you've got a good energy. So, but this is saying that, you know, there is going to be a point here where you have to say no, or stand up for yourself, stand up for you, because I just feel like your energy has been a bit depleted recently, or you've been running on fresh air. So this is a real time just to stand in your own power again, and not to let anyone sort of take advantage. Now, this could be around a situation at work, it could be a situation at home, it could be a friend situation. I just feel like you just need to, basically say no to people. Start saying no. Now, they might not like it. That's not your problem. Your sister died on the 14th. I just keep feeling here that there is something to do with somebody not treating you maybe as well as you would expect, Rose. I don't have time at the moment to go into your sister and get it as in mediumship. We're just doing more of the psychic today. You're doing this now. I am glad that you're doing it now. There is a point here where you just have to start sitting back and being a bit, well, it's not selfish to look after yourself, basically, Rose, all right? And you will feel so much better for it. I had a bit of a block button medley the other week, and I don't regret it one bit. I feel actually quite relieved for it that I don't have to see people's comments and things like that now. So sometimes you have to put the block button on certain situations, or sit back from them at least. I hope that makes sense, Rose. And have we got time for a little one?
Yeah, the card I got was Hope. Stay positive. The worst is behind you. Look up to the light.
Oh, that's a nice card.
Right, and the other one who's been contributing a lot was Claire, because we did read out one of her comments earlier on.
Claire. Okay, Claire. Hopefully they'll be a bit more jolly. Right. So, Claire. Claire, I keep seeing a trip to Turkey. I don't know if you've been talking about Turkey or somebody around you's been talking about Turkey, but it does feel like there's something about Turkey or somewhere nearby to Turkey, because I'm seeing Turkey. So just keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out definitely for that. It feels like you are going to have a little bit of fun, and you need it, to be fair. Right, these cards are mad. Right, let's have a little look. Right. I'm just going to put these cards down because they're having a moment. I'm going to pick another one out. Okay, Claire. See what comes up. Right, Claire. Now, Claire, you have got love life. You have got everything's okay. And you have emotional healing. Now, there does feel like, I mean, sometimes it's not love life. Sometimes that could be like a soulmate friend. It could be somebody else that's been around you that sort of seems to have been a bit of a pickle. This is saying here that you might be overthinking a lot about a situation. Now, I do want to say that there has been a time that you've been quite hurt by somebody, and that everything seems to have been like a massive weight on your shoulders. And sometimes you have to sit back from a situation to make sure that you know what it is that you want. Like I said, it might not be a love life. It could be a good friend. It could be a business partner even. All right, that there's been some ups and downs with. But this is definitely saying that, you know, try to sit back from a situation, trying not to let it sort of overrun into other situations. Try not to let it sort of a lack of work or lack of trust or disappointment, like bleed out into other relationships, because it does feel like there has been quite a tough time for you. The emotional healing there is saying that you do need to get to a point where you talk about it. Now, whether that's to a friend, a counsellor, or somebody else, all right, or even going for some healing. This is a time for healing for you. It's not a time to be carrying the past. This is a time to be moving off into the future and being happy. Now, one more just came out there, and you've got marriage. Ooh. So whatever has been going on with you, Claire, I hope it's making sense to you. Is it making sense to Claire?
She said yes.
There is like this future happiness, all right? There's this future happiness. So whether you're in a relationship now and it feels good and it's going in that direction, there's a definite like engagement, marriage, that sort of thing coming up for you. But definitely don't let the past bleed into your future, Claire. You're seeing a counsellor, good. Because this is saying, look, what you're going through now, let's saying you need to repair yourself. You need to feel strong again. You need to feel like you're loving yourself again, and only having good people around you, all right? I want to say honest people around you, but also good people around you, making sure that, you know, you're all right, checking on you and everything else. But everything is going to come out good. You know, if you're not already in that relationship, you are going to get that relationship. Because this card here is saying love life. The basis of your question involves your romantic life, which is now changing for the better. Whoa, I'm going the wrong way.
That's it.
There we go. So it's a lovely card. And it is, like I said, to have the marriage card there as well. You're going to get where you need to go, my lovely. So I hope that makes sense to you. So did you have a card?
The only one I've just put out there says, all is not what it seems. Stay true to your knowing and keep your dreams a secret. Judgment, I feel. Some type of judgment. Right, well, thank you ever so much. So don't forget, just for those who are VIP members, there is no mediumship development for the next few weeks. I will put a post up in the VIP lounge. It has nothing to do with Terry or Alison. It's not their fault that it's not posted. It's my fault. I just haven't had time to post it. So yeah, if there is an issue with that, come and see me, and I'll just ignore you. Simple as that, really.
No, he won't.
I will. So I just want to say thank you, Polly, for coming on again for your Sunday sofa, and I hope Jane gets sorted out. I hope for everybody's enjoyed the bit of a giggle and the bit of banter we've had today, and the seriousness as well.
Yeah, it's been serious as well. So lovely to work with you, Mr. P.
Oh, you creep.
It's been a nice change, isn't it? So yeah, or maybe you'd like him to join us more often.
I'll
Guys,
wear a
let us
wig
know.
next time.
Wear a wig. Yeah,
But
he's
no
got
one will know.
at least try and look like Jane Morton. Oops, my lead.
It's your lead, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for us. Don't forget tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock when I'm going to be back on again. Oh, I'm going to get this sick of me. I haven't been on for really 3 years, Polly. Every now and then I come on, and now I've been on nearly every week.
I know. I told you he's taking over his own show. He's going to dump us all off soon.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Right, any last feedback?
From
From
myself?
you? Yeah,
or...
anything happening with you want to promote? Something you're doing?
I am going to be running, and it is going to be on the 2nd of April. I think I've booked it for a trance mediumship workshop, and then finish it with a demo. Now I haven't advertised it yet, so if anybody is interested, it will be in Portsmouth area, and obviously it does mean you being there. It is. I will not teach trance online at all. So if you are interested, please do let us know. And and I can't remember the date that I'm on here doing the trance. What did you say?
13th of March.
13th of
Sunday.
March.
Yeah.
So absolutely join us for that. And
So going back to this, so you're teaching trance.
I'm going to do a trance workshop and demonstration.
And how much is that?
I have not secure. I've just got to secure the location at the moment, so I'm not quite sure at the moment. I'll let you know as soon as I know.
Okay, and would that information be placed under the events section for people to book if they live locally, or do you prefer the cash, or what?
I will talk about we'll talk about that, because you would have to help me put it on.
Yeah, certainly.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's coming up, and anything else that's coming up? Obviously, we are doing the which we've already promoted, that we're doing the demo with Bill and Kirsty and Matt, and that will be good fun. And so please do, if you can get over, please do. It'd be lovely to meet some of you guys.
We've got March as well coming up.
March,
Spiritual weekend.
We've got the SPTV retreat, which we're really looking forward to. It's going to be so good to meet lots of people that watch on here that we haven't, I haven't met before, so I can't wait to be meeting you all.
This is a card for you, Polly.
Thank you.
There we go.
What is it? Goddess. I can't read that.
Honor your divine feminine energy. See your inner beauty. Love every part of you.
Oh.
Look at that. Don't you think that's beautiful? The butterflies, the flowers.
It is a gorgeous card, actually.
There we go.
Mm.
That's for you.
Love that.
And
Thank
after
you.
that, shall we just say goodbye then? Or should we be all night talking?
Yeah, let's say goodbye.
All right, bye everyone.
Bye. See you next 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye.
Spiritual Psychics TV. Online. Spiritual Psychics TV isn't just an online broadcasting service. We also offer many features via our website. SPTV offers a unique directory that uses geolocation to find your nearest reader or venue, just by using your postcode. The Academy section allows anyone to upload and create their own spiritual courses within minutes. For those who like to read, then our online magazine area will offer just that. The SPTV shop enables anyone to start their online shop, be it to sell used or new items. You can also find our schedule and information about our shows.
Spiritual Psychics TV, bringing spiritual people together.